Hello everyone, welcome back to Leone Plays Touhoumon. We're climbing the lighthouse today. But also, surprise, I'd like to give you a very special welcome to Leone's Conspiracy Corner. Because we're talking about that whole shiny event. To get a shiny Wochien, because guess what? Nintendo is lying. They are liars. Because think about it, how can they really track? What is it? 1 million Wochien? 1 million? Let me. I'm going to Cerebi. And I'm double checking this. Yeah, 1 million. Well, let me ask you this follow-up question. So, yeah, they can probably track you when you're online. But what if you beat the raid while you're not online? How is that going to count towards the number of Wochien defeated? Like, it's all just to get people to play the game more. I don't know, like, no. I don't know how that, like, affects Nintendo's bottom line, or Game Freak's bottom line, or whatever, but there's no way they're actually tracking, oh, you beat 1 million Wochien, good job! They can't possibly be actually tracking that. It's got to be a case of, like, trying to convince people to go, like, oh, I want to get the Wochien, I'll buy Nintendo Online so I can participate in the raids and increase my the chances that we'll get it. Like, it's smoke and mirrors. I mean, granted, if Game Freak is listening to this, please don't send the Nintendo ninjas to, like, get rid of me. Like, if we fail, you can't tell, but I am using air quotes. Any of these, like, of these 4 raids, I'll be surprised. But hey, if it works out, my birthday's August 3rd, so, you know. So it'd be a neat birthday present. What? Oh, I don't want your phone number, so I'm a wimp. Yeah, cool. Real mature guy. Real cool guy we got here, folks. Watch out. We got a cool guy. It always annoyed me how there's no actual gym battle or gym puzzle for the steel type gem. Like, there just isn't. And if you want to argue, oh, the gym puzzle is climbing the lighthouse, it's like, that's not a puzzle. That's, hey, beat a whole bunch of trainers. Also, I guess technically this is the first video since Mega Dragonite. So thoughts on Mega Dragonite? It's cool. I like it. It is kind of weird that they showed off the pseudo legendaries the first new Mega. Because like Dratini's rare, and then you gotta get to level 55. So you're not gonna be using a Mega Dragonite until way later in the game. I would have gone with one of the other new Megas. Maybe of a Pokemon that's attained a little earlier. I don't know, maybe one of your starter Pokemon? You know? Like, knowing my luck, they're going to show the starters last. And that's sort of going to be, like, my deciding pick for the... Because, like... I'm probably not going to pick Chikorita. Because it's Chikorita. Unless the Mega Evolution is utterly ridiculous. Because, you know what, let me look at Meganium stats. Alright. There it is. Meganium. Alright. Alright, its hidden ability is Leaf Guard. Oh. If it's sunny, you don't get status conditions. Wow. It's not great. Alright, stat total. 225. So, with the same stat total, you could get Pokemon like Lucario, Torterra, Venusaur, or Weirdair, Meganium, Leafeon, Armarouge, Cerulette. Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon that have the same base stat total that are just better. So let's just see here. With a base stat total of 625. Let's see here. Okay, so Mega Venusaur or Mega Lucario. So you could just get Lucario or Venusaur and Mega them. Or, again, Alligator. Hold on. We're going to look at its base stats. Alright, let's... Cool story, guy. Alright, for alligator base stat total, let's go 530. Agron. What? Hold up. Blastoise, Blaziken, Chestnut, Cinderace, Decidueye, Empoleon, Greninja, Incineroar, Inteleon, Masquerada, Primarina, Quaxville, Rillaboom. Okay, so it's got like a base stat total comparable with pretty much the other starters. And Walrein. So what about Emboar? What do you bring to the table, big fella? Oh, the dog doesn't like getting wet. That's funny. Take a bath. Doggo. $5.28. So even the stats of the other stars are better than Meganium, like just total wise. Like Meganium's Mega has to do the heaviest of lifting. And I don't think it's gonna do it. So really it's a question of, do I get Feraligatr or Emboar? And that is entirely going to depend on the Mega Evolution, simply because I've used Emboar and I've used Feraligatr. Like, yeah, I could do Meganium if I really want to challenge, but like, I don't know. Is it going to be like the original X and Y and they'll just hand me a Charmander so I can go, great, here's Meganium, now I'll just take this Charmander and actually do things. You know, I don't even know what this item is. I want it, though. But, yeah. It's dumb. Oh, you're like a little octopus girl. I'm guessing this won't be super effective on you then, because you look like an octopus. Huh. Guess it was a freshwater octopus and I used saltwater? That's how I'm going to justify that interaction. No, don't learn Flatter. And Ether. Alright. You know what? Let's continue Leone's Conspiracy Corner. Welcome to, and now I talk about how Nintendo is just wrong. But in order to do that, I have to Google a Yoshi game. And we'll get to it, don't you worry. Okay, yes. He is Donkey Kong. Yes! Alright, folks. Get ready. We need to talk about the fact that Nintendo claims that Mario and Jumpman are the same guy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, of course they're the same guy. But, like, no. We need to talk about Pauline from Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, I guess, spoilers for if you've not seen anything about Donkey Kong Bonanza. So let's get into it. Pauline in Bonanza is the same Pauline as in Odyssey. Right? Okay, established. She mentions having a grandmother, and that grandmother is likely the lady, or Pauline, from the original Donkey Kong arcade game. And that makes sense, because the Donkey Kong from the arcade game is Cranky Kong. And Cranky Kong's son, Donkey Kong Jr., is Donkey Kong's father. Right? So that all makes sense. But Nintendo insists that Jumpman and Mario are the same guy. So, that doesn't make any sense. Because clearly, Cranky Kong aged, had a son, and his son had a son, who is the current Donkey Kong, right? The word Donkey Kong is going to lose all meaning, but bear with me here. So, how can Mario be the same age? He can't. And I can prove it with the existence of Baby DK from Yoshi's Island DS. Because Baby Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong, the current modern Donkey Kong. Not Donkey Kong's father, not Cranky Kong, the actual Donkey Kong. So you're telling me that Mario is the same guy as Jumpman, who fought Cranky Kong when he was an adult, old enough to have a son. And this same guy was also a baby when Donkey Kong's grandson was a baby. Golly gee, Nintendo, that sounds, dumb. Like, incredibly dumb. And since we're bringing up Yoshi's Island, let's talk about Yoshi's Island, okay? Because it's a Yoshi's Island game, right? Because I'm on the Mario wiki. Let's go and look at the. Oh hey, it's Cerno. I recognize them. They're the one in all the memes. Not important. Here's the story of the original Yoshi's Island. Baby Mario, he and the Yoshis go fight Bowser and get Baby Luigi. The end of the game. The Yoshis finally managed to defeat Kamek and the baby Bowser and rescue baby Luigi and the stork, allowing the stork to safely deliver the babies to their parents. I don't care what Nintendo says. Jumpman is Mario's grandfather. Because otherwise, the timeline makes 0 sense. Like, I'm sorry, Nintendo. You have the right to say what you want. But by that same token, I have the right to call you out on what you're saying being complete and utter nonsense. Like, he can't be the same guy. Alright? It doesn't work. The timeline does not work. It just doesn't. Look, I'll go get you the meds, okay? Okay, yeah, sure. That was the formal request. Alright, whatever, grab this item, and yeah. So, rant aside, you know, I do like Bonanza. I don't have a Switch 2, so I've not played it, but it seems pretty fun from what I can tell. But yeah, no. Mario and Jumpman cannot be the same guy. Or else the timeline just doesn't work. And it'd be one thing if I didn't have evidence that proves what Nintendo is saying is wrong. But I do! I have a whole game's worth of evidence. I have 2 games. Mario has parents. And they had parents. It also retroactively explains Mario being like a carpenter and a plumber, and then, like, he's just the defender of the Mushroom Kingdom. And the plumber stuff barely gets brought up. It's because his parents were carpenters and plumbers, and then he's... I guess, like, a knight? Is, I guess, like, the correct term? That or, I don't know, Mario ate a magic mushroom and he doesn't age. Except again, that's not true because baby Mario exists! So he clearly has to age. Did he just stop aging at some point? What happened, Miyamoto? Reveal your secrets! And none of this had anything to do with Touhoumon! Youngster Joey! That doesn't answer any of my questions! I'll see you all in the next episode! Bye-bye!